welcome or welcome back. I hope an amazing day. The neighbors are having some, what do you call it, fireworks out in the middle of October. So if you hear that in the background, that is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna continue with growing up in the 2020s. So let's get back into it. Anyway, we are currently going through I would say, climate crisis in some ways. A lot of scientists are pushing on about climate change and global warming and how it's happening. And they predict that by the early 2030s that the world can go up to 1.5 Celsius. Now, that number is not just a random number. That number is when all of the really horrible effects of global warming and climate change can come into effect. So that's extreme heat, weather disruptions, more natural disasters, and etc. So by Gen Z's 30s, there could be a full climate crisis. So sea levels going up, coastlines and ecosystems collapsing, all by their 30s. Constant climate awareness has made a bit of impact on Gen Z. Terms such as eco-anxiety or climate grief are somewhat common, or at least it's popular to some people. I would not say I use that word. I don't ever use that word, but I guess some people do use that word, and I can feel that a little bit. I don't want to be on this earth and then eventually I probably will be adopting and then have my child on an earth that is literally falling apart, and that is a lot to think about. But many Gen Z people have been looking towards a change for this as well, leading climate strike politicians and embracing sustainable habits. But it definitely feels like there is a disconnect from doing these things, wanting these things, and having large scale impact and policies for these things. Many people are being innovators, so they're pushing for clean energy and sustainability. And I did see this one thing, or where this lady, she made a store and she had the bottles that you can go to the store and fill it up. It was made of glass and wood and not of plastic. And I think that is so smart and so great. And if we could all do that, that would be amazing. But she was in the city, so it is a walking distance. You don't have to drive or anything, so it's easier to get from there, and probably cheaper overall because you're not gonna have to consistently buy things with the packaging in mind. Sometimes when you buy things, it's literally the thing that you're buying is the packaging, or the thing that you're buying is the brand. You're not buying the thing, you're buying the package and you're buying the brand. So if you could just buy regular generic stuff, that of course, if the brand is on sale and it's good, get it, but just get the thing that is cheaper, that works for you, and that has still all of the things that you want it to have, because why not? But also, I do kind of get it as well. Let's say the brand is a quite good brand and it's sustainable and it may be more expensive and you can afford it, then I'd say go for it. You don't always have to go for the cheapest thing, but just go for the thing that works best for you. Don't go off of something just because of the packaging and just because of the branding. And due to us being young, I guess you can say, we don't have the luxury of ignoring the impact that climate change is having, because our future hopefully won't be. We'll see how it goes. Maybe climate change. Year after year, rising emissions, it's a threat to our future. Also, what I want you to get from these videos is not to be worried about everything, but to just not feel like left behind. I think we always see people on the internet driving Ferrari, being in a mansion, being in Malibu at 15 years old and everything. And to know that it's not realistic, and all of the worries and all the things that you feel are completely valid and completely natural, and that there are a lot of people who are worried about the things that you're worried for and about climate change, and that you can totally do something about that, and that you got this. Let's move on to retirement. So when we were younger, or maybe not younger, when our parents were in the job market, a lot of them could get a job, get a 9 to 5, and then they would work, and then after they work, they would get a pension. The traditional sense of working a 9 to 5, oh my gosh, let me die, 40 hours a week at one company, getting a pension, getting a gold watch, and then relaxing at 60 years old with a nice pension is gone. Speaking of pensions, I've been thinking a lot of conversations that I had with older people, and one thing that I hear from them is that, well, at least the people that I'm around, they do not invest their money. They tell you to just save and not to invest your money, and that the stock market is bad and that etc. They had that luxury to do that, and I am happy for them. But when I first heard that, I was like, are you what? I thought that was crazy, because how are you going to survive, I thought. But looking up, the average pension per month is around $7,000 per month for people who are 65 and older. So literally, they don't need to invest. They never did if they have a pension job, and they would be completely fine. But I, on the other hand, most likely will not be, because jobs are becoming endless pension incentivized. Now, we have to invest in our future. Most of us will never have a pension job, besides some people who, let's say, work in the government. Those were gone from the private sector as soon as we stepped on this earth. It was changed to the 401k that poses a bit more risk on the individual instead of the company. Even the public safety net, such as Social Security, is on shaky ground since 2023 or 2033. For the long term, Social Security trustees estimate that the main trust fund will deplete by 2033 if nothing changes. That doesn't mean the system will not be there at all, but that means that it will be cut 20 to 25% after that point, unless Congress shoots it up. By the time Gen Z retires around 2060s, for most people, there may not be Social Security for us, or at least not to the full extent that our parents are getting, or grandparents, or people before us. So you have to start your career, and you can't get on a safety net or a pension. You have to do all your own saving, and the stock market could crash, but I do see that as, yeah, it's a possibility. But stock markets, they do have ups and downs, so that is normal. Most people in their lifetime, they will go through recessions, and some people don't know what could happen to the economy in 40 years. I do see people see it in a more negative manner, but the optimistic in me is seeing this in a bit of a positive light as well. If a company is going to make me choose my own stocks and choose my own savings, you are, and I am, for sure gonna learn how to be financially literate and etc., and what to do with my money, and what is the best course of action to do with my money and with my time that I will be working there, to make sure that I am more than set up. So if Sally or Benjamin or anyone wants to do something crazy or be extremely something. I don't know. Things can go down in the office. I could always resign and get another job because I have enough cash to keep me afloat. And that is really important. Gen Z will never be able to fully retire in that traditional pension having sense. Some say that we'll work until we are 65, and after that we'll continue working for forever. It's half joking, but there is a little bit of truth in there. Housing and cost realistically say that many people can't even save right now or saving a lot. A survey shows that a chunk of Gen Zs in their early 20s have not started any retirement savings. That can be a bit difficult to do when you have student loans to pay back and rent and food. But as you probably know, every financial guru always says that time is one of your biggest assets. And it is true with components like compound interest. The more time that you are putting in money, the more money you will make in the end. But it can be difficult to do when a lot of people are living to paycheck. There's also a physiological shift. A lot of Gen Z are not saving money now. They are going out and partying and spending all their money now. It's kind of like a YOLO culture, saying that if they're not going to be retiring anyway, why even worry about it, and why not live their life now? But this is ultimately detrimental to them and their future, because though it's understandable and you feel like nothing is working, I promise you with time and wait, I don't think I like this. Don't put this. It definitely makes sense why people are doing this, but it's not good for you and it's not good for your future. It is important to put money towards everything, even if you are young and you feel like you don't have much money at all. Even starting with, let's say, $50 a month, which I think you can definitely get out and just work and putting that in your account, compounding, will be beneficial to your future. Because a lot of people love to think about now, and I think that is what is so interesting now. I want to get that new iPhone 10 now. I want to get that new piece of clothing now. But what about when you're in the future? I think that you waiting for something sometimes is the best feeling in the whole entire world. I cannot tell you how excited I am to go out of high school and get my diploma. And though it did take long, maybe I'll feel a little bit better for going through all of those years. And I finally get a diploma and a big congratulations for it. Though it took long, but maybe the longer wait is good to some extent because I'll feel a little bit better about it. I put effort in those 4 years. But also it is understandable that a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of people say, oh, you have Social Security and you have all of these other resources that are helping you. It's not everything. You know what I mean? People can have health issues, for example. They can have children, and it is a lot. So people are definitely trying. So this may not be so realistic for everyone. The fantasy of a secure retirement is fading. Maybe we'll have multiple career pivots, which actually, well, not necessarily career pivots, but especially I saw this one person in your tech field, you changing jobs and going to a different company and that could actually help you to get more money, because usually when companies promote inside, it is less for them to promote inside than it is for them to get people from the outside. But if you go on the outside of your company and you change your company, you usually will get paid more. Maybe semi-retirement with a side gig, maybe retiring much later than our parents did, because I have heard some things about them trying to push back the retirement age because we are, quote, living longer. But even if I'm living longer, listen, who wants that? I don't know if there's any person who wants to work longer if they don't have to. So let's not make them have to. But we are staying proactive as well. I saw this one statistic in one of my classes. A good amount of Gen Z and millennials, over 50%, are investing in retirement and investments. And that is so important. And I cannot be more proud of our generation than I am right now. I sound like a grandma right now who just saw their grandchildren get a bachelor degrees and being amazing, and you guys obviously are. Okay, so I think I'm gonna keep this here. The next part will definitely be more positive, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. See you later.